Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals.
It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Cincinnati. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They're going to try and throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete on the deep ball. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Our first carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got him this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Off the option, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the counter, here's Jones. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. On 3rd down, here's Jones. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. On 3rd down, here's Jones. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. They'll try and throw for it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Now a first down carry for Harris. They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Jones. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
In motion, the tight end. Out of the pistol to give to Jones.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that
one. On 2nd down, it's Jones.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. And the Steelers force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that. Through this first half, because that's simply not true. But you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. A check down here to Jones. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
They go back to the ground with Jones. 52 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. The 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, there you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 13-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. takes it at the 7. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll try the right side with Harris. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Now it's Rodgers. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And some room to maneuver. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
75 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Harris diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Zach Taylor's made the decision. They'll go for 2 here.
They're going to run it with Harris. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Back to throw now on first down.
And this is dropped.
Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And they give the Jones off tackle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. 7 yards there and a first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. An inside give to Jones. And they'll get him down right about the 20. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. It's Tariq Castro Fields who picked it.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. He's got a man complete. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just 1 play. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
To throw is Rodgers. Towards the end zone for Brown. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle, Jones. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. 2nd and 12 now at the 44-yard line. The give is to Jones. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. They'll look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown. A great play there. 46 yards. And the Steelers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Harris running straight ahead. We're down to the 41.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
88. Back north. Hey, flag.
Throwing is Rodgers. And it's caught. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. They'll try and run with Harris. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Najee Harris with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after...
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Bengals will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
And you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp on.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A solid stiff arm.
Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5.
Back one. Take 30.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And some room to roam now. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
They'll set up a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones.
And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Chandler, oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
They'll go with a keeper, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Steelers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
On play action, now Rodgers. Finds Hill on the crossing route, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers going deep for Hill. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Well, CD, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got room.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Dante Hightower. And nothing but daylight ahead.
Well, there's some excitement, right? Going for 2, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give him a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rally.
Exactly. Getting back there, making the tackle, and not giving up 2 points themselves.
So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are 2 very tough things to do.
Takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. A give to Jones. And he's got some space here. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 169 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now this throw caught left side. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A gain of 32 that time.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Now Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Now back to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. They'll try and run it in with Jones. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. This is caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Aaron Jones from 4 yards out, and the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Butker on for the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down to 22. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Just all around a solid performance, and now they've got the 3-score lead here, Charles. So the final seconds of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, in this one, they've been in control, haven't they? They've earned this victory. No question who the better team was out there in this game. And frankly, the score could have been a lot worse than it was. Give them a lot of credit for how they played in this one.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Cincinnati, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.